Philippe, hey, congratulations for American Sicario.
Thank you so much, Gig. I appreciate that.
Hey, so what initially attracted you to a project like this?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I think that it's because I'm Mexican myself. I thought first and foremost that it was something that I could play well, as an actor,
Mhm.
and then I find somehow, fascinating how this person and I had so many things in common. We're both very passionate and, we do what we do out of passion. So I found that to be very interesting and very calling for me as an actor.
Now, I understand you have a multilingual background,
That's right.
so this must have been a really terrific project for you to speak in both Spanish and English for yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was very close to home for sure.
Is was it what was that experience like? Switching back and forth between languages throughout this entire project.
Well, actually, it was very natural for me. Believe it or not, in Mexico, people bust out in English a lot because a lot of them studied here and they've lived here and they go back to Mexico. So a lot of people are speaking like that nowadays. So it was very natural. you know? Yeah.
Now, it seems like you had a lot of fun playing Erik in this film. How do you get into that headspace of Erik, and do you see yourself as a bad guy or a good guy in a movie like this?
That's an unbelievably great question. I know that in his head, as the character, he doesn't see himself as the bad guy. For me, as Philippe now standing outside, obviously he's a bad guy to me. So it's kind of one of those fuzzy kind of lines, where it's a little bit of both. Yeah, definitely.
So you enjoy a lot of these type of cartel films yourself?
Well, yeah, I do enjoy them, and the reason is that they allow me to explore things that I don't think that I would ever do. It would be illegal and immoral on many different grounds. So for me to just even be in that playground and just in that space and have fun with it and see what happens is very calling and very interesting.
Now, you also got a producer credit on a film like this. Tell about how that came about and your extent of involvement on the film.
Well, it really began for me. I actually put the whole thing together, if you can believe that. And then I hired specific people to do certain jobs, and I hired a producer, and he brought his team. And so, yeah, I was involved all the way from the inception to writing the script. I hired, obviously, Rich Ronick, the writer, but, I was involved in every step of the way, and even till now with the distribution and all that. So I had a pretty deep involvement in the movie from a producer's, perspective.
So quite literally, American Sicario is your baby.
It's absolutely my baby.
Now, tell us about subbing, Vegas for Mexico in a film like this.
Well, I mean, they're very similar. This actually used to be Mexico, you know, but I mean, climate wise and everything, they're very similar. So geographically, it was very favorable for us to go to Vegas and shoot it, and it resembles Mexico a lot, you know.
Now, in cartel films like this, it's all about the glamorization of cartels, and you guys shown that with all the many homes that you guys actually use. Could you talk about the location choices for a film like this?
Yeah, I think it's really important what you're saying, and I said that in other interviews, and that a big drive for these guys is not so much the need, but it's the glamorization, because all these narcos. I mean, I don't know if you remember a movie called New Jack City in the '90s, and all of that little era, they started to become cool to a lot of the young people, and the parties and the lifestyle and the things that they have and the toys and the gadgets. So the glamorization is definitely a big part of it, and we wanted to display that through these mansions and that we rented in Las Vegas that were supposed to be its compounds. you know. Yeah.
So Philippe, how do you prepare for a role like this? I mean, there's a lot of physicality in a film, in these type of films, especially those action sequences.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had to put on a lot of weight. That was the first big physical change that I had to make. I put on like, I think 80 pounds or something. I put on a whole bunch of weight, and it wasn't on purpose. I didn't want to put that much weight, but we're waiting for the financing, and it just dragged on and on and on. And I didn't want to take it off and then put it back on again. So I kept it on. So I ended up with a whole bunch of weight that luckily I've been able to take a big part of it off. The physicality of it, yeah, there was a lot of action sequences, and so I had to be kind of overweight, but at the same time I had to be in shape in order to be able to carry these actions through and out. So yeah, a lot of physical changes. Psychologically, I had to find a lot of parallels between me and the character. Empathy is the most fundamental part of you being able to interpret a character. You need to be able to relate to that person. Mm-hmm. So I found the similarities. I think that we both have a lot of passion, which is what why we do what we do. I'm a passionate actor, and he was a passionate narco. So I had to kind of key into all those similarities and let those things drive me forward.
You ever feel bad on how Erik treat others throughout this entire film?
From his perspective or from theirs?
From his perspective.
Do I feel bad for him? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that, the desensitization that has happened in his mind, where he just, kills somebody for breakfast, is really concerning and very sad. I feel bad that he's lost touch with his humanity. How can you, I can't even, it's really hard for me to imagine, arriving at a point where you don't feel anything anymore for taking somebody's life away.
That is true. Now, of course, you guys scored Danny Trejo in this film. Talk about acting alongside with him in a movie like American Sicario.
Well, yeah, a lot of people ask me that because he's such a tough-looking guy and he's so mean-looking, but in reality, in real life, he's a teddy bear. He walked in with T-shirts from his franchise, and he was really, really caring and gave everybody hugs, and he was very cooperative, and he didn't have a lot of demand. It was really easy to work with. And then, of course, sharing the screen was great. I had to really work hard to be relaxed and to be present and to get over the fact that it's the big Danny Trejo, because he's such a big figure,
Most excellent. Well, one more thing with you, Philippe, sure. Is in these type of stories, does crime ever, pay off? I mean, it almost seems like every type of movie like this, like it just kind of discourages us to become a narcos or a Sicario.
Well, yeah, totally. I think that it's with all bad things, there's an element of good at the very beginning, but it comes at a price. It's kind of like doing drugs. I mean, people do them because they're fun, but it comes at a cost of your health or getting in trouble with the law. And same with being a narco. You can make some quick money and buy some houses, but eventually either your conscience or the law, or you'll end up hitting a wall. So it's a dead end. So it pays off in the beginning, but not in the end. That would be my answer.
That is a great answer, and I'm expecting you to do more of these type of films in the future. That's for sure.
Thank you so much. They're already in the works. I have a lot of stuff coming up, so definitely going to try to meet up to your expectations.
Excellent. Well, Philippe, hey, thank you very much for speaking to us, and I look forward to many more conversations again.
Thank you so much, Greg. I appreciate everything. Happy holidays to you and to your family.
Hey, you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.